Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me now. Okay, so just give me a second. I am just checking my mic, whether my audio is audible or not, and few more things. Just a second. Okay, so it's all working. So again, everyone, thank you so much for coming on to this live stream. As you can see, I had called this live stream to learn SolidWorks live with me, and in this live stream that I am doing today, and it's Saturday 27th of April 2024, and today we are going to learn more about the basics of SolidWorks 2024. And in this live stream we will be learning the fundamentals of sketching inside SolidWorks, but before that we will go through the basics of user interface of the SolidWorks, like how the user interface looks like and where you can find all the tools, techniques, and the basic concepts and stuffs we're going to discuss today in this live stream. So if you are watching this live stream for the first time, I will strongly request you that subscribe to this channel, because whenever I am doing this live stream, I want all of you to get notified that I am live. Then only you will be able to attend my these live workshops, and you will be able to ask you questions. And before we'll move forward onto this live stream, I want all of you, whoever watching to this live stream, I want you to comment into the chat box, like just write SolidWorks with your name, so I will get an idea that okay, few of you are already watching to this live stream. So as you can see in the poster, it says SolidWorks live part 3, right? So let's move on to the SolidWorks without wasting much time, and onto your screen you can see this is SolidWorks Makers license that is active with me right now, and it's the 2024 version of the SolidWorks. It's completely same, it's completely similar, but I cannot use this license for professional things. I can only use this license for my personal application, personal projects, and all this stuff. So I cannot commercialize this license for the commercial applications or the projects. That's the only criteria I had to follow. Otherwise, this SolidWorks Makers license I had just activated for around 5,000 Indian rupees. It costed me for 1 year license, and it's completely being activated online using the 3D experience platform from the Dassault system. So in this complete live stream, the topics that we are going to discuss are about, the first we'll go through the like how the user interface looks like, what are all the terms, basic terms like origin, plane, axis, faces, edges, vertices, all these things we're going to discuss. And we'll also be discussing like the fundamental user interface of SolidWorks, where all the tools are situated, from where you can change some of the settings, from where you can navigate across your 3D models. So these are the things that we're going to discuss today. And as I said, if you are coming first time to this channel, please subscribe to this channel, and also write something in the chat box if you are watching this live stream, because that is the only way we'll get encouraged. And I also asked in my last live stream, I asked all of you to give at least 10 likes, because that is the only way you can motivate me to keep doing this live stream. In the last live stream I got only 6 likes, but still I'm very happy for that at least some of you had already shown your interest, shown your appreciation, and in this one I want more appreciation from all of you. So let's move on to the topic now that we had planned for the today. And the topic that I had said is we'll be learning about the basic terminology inside SolidWorks. So let's start the part 5. And in the last live stream, if you had not watched the part 2, just go and check it out. In the last video, in the last live stream, we had already discussed about how to launch a part file inside SolidWorks, and that was very easy. You just need to go onto the file menu option over here, click on the new, but I will be using the keyboard shortcut, that is this other method. Just press Ctrl plus N onto your keyboard, and here you can see a new window will pop up like this, from where you can just select the part, the first option that says part. Just select it, press OK, and it will take few seconds, and you can see your part file just got launched. And as I said in the last live stream, there are two things that you always have to follow. First, save your file. Second, check your system of units. So the system of units, you can notice just onto the right bottom corner over here. Let me check if you can see it better onto your screen as well. Yes, you can see it. Let me move my picture a little bit towards the left so you can see it better, like this. Here you can see I will also keep my picture camera stream little bit smaller so you can see it better. So as you can see, you can change system of units of your Solidworks on the bottom right corner. Here you can say it says millimeter gram second, mmgs, so it's completely right. So we are not going to change that one. Now the next thing is that we'll save this file first. So right now by default it says part 1, but I want to give some other name to this one. So let's just click on the save icon. Since we are saving it for the first time, we'll go on to the desktop and we'll give it some name. Let's write it sketch. Here you can see sketch.sldprt. As I had already explained in the last video that sldprt is the default file format of the Solidworks. So it's a default file extension, I can say. So I had written that sketch.sldprt, then I will click on the save. You can see the name just got updated onto the top middle over here. You can see the name just got updated, and even if you move your cursor onto the name itself, and if you'll keep your cursor for few of the seconds over there, you will see the location of your file as well, like in which location your file just got saved. So as you can see right now, it's inside onto the desktop. You can see under the C folder. So this way you can check your location of your file also. Now as you can see, there are multiple things that you will be able to see onto your main user interface. So let's start with the basic things. So let's move on to discussing the basic things. So the first thing that we'll talk about is this feature manager. We call it design tree. Here you can see. So this option that you can see just onto the left side of your screen, this area that you can see, this is known as the design tree. So because it looks like a tree, you can see it has multiple branches, and there are some top level kind of naming. Then under that there are multiple folders, and under those folders there are another folders. So it's like a tree where you can see the multiple branches, right? So that's why we call it a feature manager design tree, right? We call it feature manager design tree. And that you can see, if you'll move your cursor onto the area over here and if you'll keep it over there for a moment, you will be able to see this option that says feature manager design tree, right? So whenever someone says that move your cursor to the feature manager design tree, you can simply move your cursor onto that area, because that is the area that is known as feature manager design tree, right? Now under the feature manager design tree, by default whenever you will start a part file, you will be able to see certain folders and certain options over here, and this will be all the time available by default, right? So these things are, the first is the folder, the second is the sensors, the next is annotations, and under annotations, if you will expand it, you can say it says 2D notes and unassigned items, right? Below that there is a material option available, and below that you can see there are three different things. The first three are the planes. You can see the front plane, top plane, and right plane. And below that there is the origin of your drawing. As you can see, whenever I move my cursor onto origin, you can see onto the center area of my space a blue dot is getting highlighted, right? So this area, this icon that you can see onto the center of your screen, that is known as the origin, right? So that is the very important. Now you can see these are all planes and this is the origin. Now as you can see onto my center area over here where we can create drawing, nothing is visible. None of my planes are visible, none of the origin is visible. It's because If we'll go on to this area over here, there is a small eye icon that you can see, right? If we'll expand this, you can see we had turned that off. So if I will turn this on, here you can see the planes were off, also the origins were off, right? So since I turned them on, just by clicking onto that, you can see, and now I can see my front plane, top plane, right plane. I can also see the origin, right? Because all of them now became visible onto my design space. So again, if you want to hide these things, so you can just expand this option from over here, then just unselect these two things, and you can see all of them got hidden. Also, there is a default 3-axis, because whenever you are creating something inside 3D, those things are always distributed in 3 different axes, that is x-axis, y-axis and g-axis, right? And all these 3 axes that you can see over here onto this left bottom corner over here, you can see it says the green one is y-axis, the red one is x-axis, and the blue one is z-axis, and that's why we call it trimetric. So if you want to hide this icon also as well, because you can do that, just untick this option over here that says view coordinates, and it will get hidden. Okay, no, that is for something different, I think. Anyway, just forget about that. So we are not going to hide this, but if we'll try to orbit, you can see we can rotate it, right? So we'll learn how we can orbit the things. Those things definitely we're going to learn inside our upcoming live sessions, but right now I'm just explaining about the basic terms. Like, this is the design tree from where you will be able to get these 3 options all the time whenever you are starting your first drawing or design, right? There you can see, and the origin. Now the next thing that is important is the configuration manager, and that is also available onto this area over here. So we'll click the next, okay, so after that there is the next section that says property manager, right? So if we'll click on this option over here that says properties manager, and let's say if you have any design over here, and just for the reference I'm creating something, just forget about, don't worry at this moment that how I am creating the design, just look at it. I'm just creating that design just to give you an example like how the things looks like. Okay, so as you can see, let's say I had created a small block onto this area, right? Now you can see under the design tree there are new folder just got added because I had created something. So whenever you will keep adding new features onto your design, like whenever you will keep creating sketches, keep creating 3D models, keep adding new features to your 3D models like holes, chamfers, fillets, then all those things will getting recorded onto this area only under the design tree, right? So here you can see I had to create this kind of shape. I had followed the 2-step process. So the first step was to create the sketch, and the second step was to convert that sketch to a 3D model, and both of them just got recorded over here. If you expand this tick, you can see a sketch and a step to convert that sketch to 3D, right? So these are all under the design tree option. Now after that there is this property tab available over here. So you can see whenever I will, so this is my object, and you will be able to see all the properties associated with this object. Since I had not assigned anything until this moment, that's why you will not be able to see any properties for this object. But if I want to, if the moment I will assign any certain properties to this object, you will be able to see under this area over here only. So if you want to check some properties like what is the weight of the object, what is the volume, or what is the surface area of your design or 3D model, that you will be able to find all those options under this properties manager only, right? After the properties manager, you can see the next option is this configuration manager. So this is one of the very important thing, guys, and none of the SolidWorks teachers, mentors are talking about this, because but this is very, very important. Like whenever you are creating designs for manufacturing, especially for the industrial applications, configuration managers helps you a lot. Let's say you are developing a sheet metal design, so under the configuration manager you can create multiple configurations of your design, right? Let's say in a single configuration you can keep a complete complete sheet metal assembly of your design, and under the different configuration you can keep a flat pattern of your sheet metal components, like how it will look when you will flatten the your sheet metal for the laser cutting or for machining. So those things you can only arrange under the configuration panel only. So this is one of the most important area, I will say. And I will, in this complete live stream that I had started, I also be discussing like how we can create multiple configuration and how we can create multiple configuration for any design or drawing. So that will also be learning in the our upcoming sessions. But I want you, when if you are watching this live stream, I want you to support me, like this video, like this live stream, and then only I will have some confidence to keep creating these live streams, right? And until now I had a very good response. Few people are encouraging me already that I started this initiative to teach you SolidWorks live, but this could be more interesting if you'll join this live stream whenever I am coming online, and if you'll ask questions and if you'll try to answer questions live during this live streams, then it will be more interesting for me as well, right? So as you can see, this is the configuration panel where you can create multiple configuration of your design or the drawings, right? After that configuration manager, there is this next panel, and that says, you can see, dim expert manager. So it's related to like maintaining your tolerance and the dimensioning and all those stuff. But this is, I think you don't have to worry about this section at this moment, because this is most of the times you will not be using this section, and many of the SolidWorks user, I will say more than 90% are not using this feature. So this is this area has a very rare application. But if you want to hide it, I don't know how we can hide it. If we can hide it, once I will get the idea, I will show you like how we can hide this section. Now after that, again very important section that says display manager. And the display manager is important because under the display manager only you can control the appearance of your object. So right now my object is in default appearance. So whenever you are creating some design, by default you will be seeing this kind of appearance only, gray kind of appearance. You can see gray in color, right? So let's say if you want to add some certain kind of materials, under this display manager tab you can apply those materials, right? So right now you can see, if we'll click on the open appearance library, you can see a new window will pop up onto the right side of my screen, and under that I will be able to find, if I'll expand this appearance tab, you can see by default under the SolidWorks default material library, these are all the materials appearances are already available. For example, let's say I want to check for some kind of metal. So I will expand the metal, and under metal, let's say I want to go with copper. So I will click on it, and you can see these are all where different variations of copper appearance is available for me, right? And if I want to change the appearance of this object by using any of these appearances that is available, I can simply drag it and put it onto my object. And then I had to specify onto which label I want to apply, whether I want to apply that appearance onto that face only, or onto the complete body, or onto the complete sketch. So those things we can define, we can control. So at this moment I want to apply onto the body label, so I will click on the body. Here you can see my complete body appearance just got changed to the copper kind of look. So that's why it says this display manager tab. Using this display manager tab, you can control the appearance of your object. And the moment I had applied that appearance onto my object or onto my design, that appearance just got added onto the left side of your screen under the display manager. So this is how you can navigate across your 3D model. You can check out the properties, configuration, displays, and all this stuff from this area over here under there onto the left side of your screen, right? And again, if you have any question at any moment of time, even after when I had completed this live stream, and if you have any question coming into your mind, you can just comment into the chat box of this live stream, and we'll try to answer that if I am receiving any questions or any queries from any one of you. I'm always here to help you all, right? Now the next thing that you will be able to see is the menu area inside the SolidWorks. and all the time, as the name itself explains, the menu is something like it will be available onto the top of your SolidWorks tool. So here you can see these things that you can see over here onto the top. These are all menus, right? And if we'll click on those menus, you can see this is the file menu, right? And under the file menu there are certain sections that also have sub menu, you can see. So if we'll click on this, you can see it has sub menu, right? Like this. So here you can see under the view section there are multiple sub menus. So these are all menus available onto the top, and from where you can control few of the things. But if you're a SolidWorks user and you're just getting started, you don't have to start playing with these features, because these are just from here you can just maybe if you click something wrong, then your tool positions will get changed and you may face problems. So I will strongly recommend, so whenever you are just getting started with the tool, go with the default settings, don't try to change anything. But still you can see these are all menus available onto the top, like file. Under that you got all those options, like to start a new drawing, to open the existing one, to close the drawing, to save the existing one, and like how we can export it as a different file format, how we can print our drawing and design, properties panel, tab option over here, and all those things we can, all those options under the menu, under the file menu, you can see. If you click on it, you will be able to see over here. Now after that there is the edit menu, and under that edit menu you can see there are multiple options. But all these things are also, all those under the menu, you can see there are multiple tools, right? And most of the tools that are being frequently used inside SolidWorks are already available onto our desktop. So you don't have to worry about that. And even if it is not available onto our desktop, there are a way we can bring it onto our desktop if it's a frequently used tool. So don't worry about these menus so much. Then there is a view menu, insert menu, tool menu. So you can just go and check it out for once. And if you want to, for example, you can see you can the area that you can see over here, you can arrange it in different kind of tiles. For example, right now it's single tile, right? It's a single screen where you are working onto your design. You can change that into multiple tiles, like tiles horizontally, tiles vertically. So these are all the options available under the menus that you can explore, because I will not say that these are very important things, but still when you are just getting started, just click on it and try to read these terms, like what it says, viewports and close all, and what will happen if you click on the viewport. So right now you can see we are inside the single viewport. If you click on the two view horizontal viewport, so here you can see all things just got divided into two different viewports, and is being divided horizontally, right? So these are the small things that you can explore, like how you can change viewports, how you can arrange viewports, and all those stuff inside SolidWorks. So this will take time, you don't have to worry about that. And when you are just getting started, just stick with the basic settings, I will say. Now the next option is the toolbar, and the toolbar is really very important. And the toolbar is the area. Okay, I think there is some problem, let me check. Okay, the viewport is not getting arranged in a good way. Let me do it again. Single view. Okay, there is some problem. I will just close this one and I will start a new drawing again. Okay, so we are back. We are not saving it at this moment because we are learning about all these tools, right? And now under the menu you will be able to see these areas that we call toolbars. So under the toolbars there are multiple categories, multiple sections, multiple tabs. So right now you can see we are active under the feature tab, feature section, right? Under the feature section you can see these are all tools available, right? So just to explain you, I am creating something, so you will be able to see all the tools in a better manner. Just give me a second. And again I am repeating, any questions just put it into the chat box, or you can also write your favorite tool name inside the chat box if you have just started learning SolidWorks. So we'll have some interaction, I will able to get some idea like what kind of audience I am getting at this moment. So here you can see under the features section, you can see there are multiple tools, right? More than 20 tools available over here, and even you can customize these tools. You can bring more tools onto this section, so it's completely onto you. So right now, as you can see, there are multiple tools available option over here. So this we call it toolbar, because here all the tools are available. That's why we call it toolbar. And if you go on to the sketch section, again there are multiple tools. So again this is the toolbar, and we call it sketch toolbar. Right. Then the surface toolbar, sheet metals toolbar, Wildman's direct editing. So these options that you can see over here, these sections may be different for you. It may depend upon the type of license you had activated of SolidWorks, or the options you had activated inside SolidWorks. So these things may change, but the basic things like features, sketches, sheet surfaces, sheet metals, direct editing, weldments. So these will most probably, these things will be with your license as well. So you can see this area that we can see onto this top over here. These are all known as toolbar, where you can see most of your tools. Right, you will be able to see most of your tools. Okay. Now there are one more thing. Now you can see right now, if you go to the feature manager option over feature section, you can see under the feature toolbar section, you can see all the tools are active, right? And if you go into the sketch, you can see there are certain tools active, but the certain tools are inactive. It's all because these tools that you can see are inactive. We call it dynamically, we can call it these tools actually get activated dynamically. For example, since we are inside the sketch section, and right now we are not active with creating any sketch, right? That's why these tools are not active. And the moment we start creating a sketch, you can see the moment I start creating the sketch, you can see all the tools just got activated, the stream options and all those things. And the offset on the surface is still not active because we are not working with surfaces. So these tools that are being activated once we perform certain tools or operations, these tools are known as dynamically activated tools. This is also kind of tool, but it's being activated dynamically when you perform certain steps or operations. Right. So that always you have to take care of. Like whenever you are seeing something not active, this does not mean that you are doing something wrong. This you can see. So the moment I am active inside the sketch work environment, you can see under the features tab, all these 3D modeling tools are inactive. Right. All because right now we are inside the sketch workspace right now. So if you want these features to be get activated, I have to come out of the sketch environment. So I will click on this finish the sketch, and you can see now all my 3D modeling tools are activated. So this does not mean that I am doing something wrong. This means that you have to follow a certain stepwise procedure to create some design or drawing. Right. So that way we will have a complete access of all the tools inside SolidWorks toolbar. Right. And again I am repeating, any questions, any one of you, just let me know in the chat box. Just write into the chat box of your YouTube section. You can also subscribe to my channel to get the notification whenever I am doing this live stream. I do not expect a very large amount of audience to joining this live stream, but at least I need few people who are really serious about learning SolidWorks and want to get started into this tool. And in the future, if you're getting good response, maybe if you are demanding for some other language as well, we can try that as well. Because for me, there are 2 languages I am proficient in, and those are English, and then the next is my mother tongue, that is Hindi. So accordingly, I can shift my content, shift my delivery of this live stream based on your feedback or response only. Right. After that, these toolbars, you can see there is a next section that you will be able to see is this section that you can see onto the top area over here. So these sections we call it navigation panel, right? And why we call it navigation panel? Because all the tools that are required to navigate across your 3D model, here you can see, are available under this section only. But all those things you can also do with your external mouse, right? Because if you're a SolidWorks user and if you're still trying to do it with your laptop trackpad, it's not possible. It's not an efficient way, guys. You had to attach external mouse, and that is the best way to keep working onto this tool, onto this SolidWorks tool. So now, as you can see, the first tool under the navigation panel is this zoom to fit tool, and if you click on this tool, you can see whatever the objects you had created in your design or drawing space. The moment if you are if you had zoomed in and zoomed out, the moment you will click on it, it will get fitted onto your complete screen. Right, so this is the maximum fit. This is the maximum, you can see this is the maximum space it can take to show you the complete design onto your screen. So that's why it's called zoom to fit. Right, the next tool is that zoom to area. For example, if you want to zoom onto a certain area only, so just activate this tool, then make a click of your mouse and try to create a window like this, and that area only get zoomed onto your complete screen. Right, let's say I want to zoom onto this area, so I will create a window like this, and here you can see. So by using these tools, you can navigate across your 3D model. That's why we call it navigation panel, right, under which you will be able to find all of your navigation tools. The next is this previous view. So this will, you can see, this is about going up onto your previous view. For example, in the previous view I had zoomed onto this area, right, onto this corner. So if I click on it, it will bring me onto that particular view. But if I keep clicking, it will keep sending me back, right. It is just changing the view. It's not doing the undo step, right. It's not doing the undo step. It's not taking the step back. It is only changing the view of my it is just taking one step back of my view of my 3D model, right. Then after that, there is a section view. So section view is really very important, and if you want to see the section view of your model, you can do that, but I'm not going to explain it at this moment, because this tool can only be visualized when you have some complex model onto your screen. So then you will have a clear idea like what this section view tool can do, right. After that, there are all view orientations. So you can see these are all view orientations. For example, if you want to see your model from the top, so just click onto this view orientation, and then you can click on this top view, and you are onto the top view of your model. And the same things you can also do using a Ctrl+1 key of your keyboard, right, or Ctrl+2 or Ctrl+3. So Ctrl+1, 2, 3, 4, 5, using all these keys, you can change the view of your models, right. So if you'll expand this, you can see this top view you can activate using Ctrl+5. This side view, the left view, you can activate using Ctrl+3. So all these views, and there are also shortcuts attached to it, keyboard shortcuts. So if you want to change the view of your 3D model, just remember these keyboard shortcuts, and accordingly you can navigate across your 3D model, right. So right now, let's say I want to go back to my default isometric view. So there is again a keyboard shortcut for that, and here you can see this is my isometric view, and for that the keyboard shortcut is Ctrl+7. But I can also, instead of using the keyboard shortcuts, I can just expand this option from over here, and I can click on this isometric view, and by default it get onto the isometric view. If I go onto the front view, I can just click on the front view, and here you can see my view just got changed on like a front view. So the view orientation of your 3D model, you can completely control from this screen. And not just isometric, there are other options as well, like dimetric, trimetric. So, but the default one is most of the time is isometric. And also, from here you can split your screen into multiple viewports. Like you can, right now it's a single view, you can see. If you want to split it into a multiple view, like two horizontal split screens, you can do that, or two vertical split screens, or 4 equal split screens, you can do that as well. So it's completely onto you. Now there is one very important tool inside this view orientation option over here, and that option is this normal option. Here you can see. For example, if you want to see this object from this side, but you don't know whether it's front, right, top or bottom, so just select that face, just click on that face, right, and just expand this option over here and then click on this normal. So what it will do, it will take you to the normal, I mean the perpendicular to that particular face, right? So see, and this, all those options can also be used using these shortcuts. So instead of using the keyboard shortcuts, instead of using those options over here, what we can do, we can just click on the face, and the moment you will click on the face, you can see a shortcut menu just got appeared, right? And from here also you can click on this normal tool. So that's the most quickest way. Just select the face, click on this normal tool, and this is how it is. So basically these shortcuts that you can see that is appearing whenever you are selecting any face or entities vertices. So these shortcut options are completely being controlled, completely being suggested by SolidWorks most frequently used tools. But if you want to customize these options, just make a right click onto that whenever it is active and click on the customize, and under that you can add or remove certain shortcuts if you want to. For example, under the shortcut bar, here you can see under the shortcut bar, let's say I want to add something or remove something. So from here I can do that. But if you did anything wrong, like if you had removed something and you don't want to get it removed, if you had added something that you don't want to add it onto the shortcut menu, so then again click on this reset to default, and it will keep everything onto the default settings like when you first installed your SolidWorks. So that way you can just reset everything, right? So you can see that. Now after that, the next section that you can see that is known as I call it, these are all visual styles. So right now you can see the first visual style that you can see is this shaded with edges. So you can see my model looks like shaded with dark black edges, right? And if I'll change the visual style to only shaded, you can see it's now looking like a shaded object only without dark edges, right? And also I can change this to only lines, or we call it wireframe, or wireframe with hidden lines, and wireframe with solid lines. There you can see. So all these options are available. For example, if you are working with very large assembly, then this kind of view style can take much processing power of your computer. We'll change this to wireframe. This can take very less consumptions of your graphic card memory, and even you will be able to handle large assemblies as well when you are into the wireframe model. And still into this wireframe model, you can see I'm able to visualize my object very clearly, right? So it's on to you, like what kind of appearance works best for your comfortability or for your eyes, and accordingly you can keep your visual styles onto your screen. And after that, this option I had already explained you, like by using this option you can hide or show certain kind of things like the planes or the default planes or the axis origins. You can see all these things, like all these options you can hide or show using these options over here. And after that, the next is this edit appearance that we had already discussed under this display manager option, that the appearance we can also control from here. Also we can, if we click on this edit appearance, we'll get the same options and we can drag it and apply onto our body. So those things you can also do. Whenever you're done, you can finish it. Then the next option is this 3-point faded, or these are basically to create a render of your 3D model or object. For example, when you had finished creating your 3D model, design or drawing, and now you want to convert that as a realistic looking images, then by using these options you can control the environment of your 3D model, the lightings and all those stuff, and that you can do. But that is not really very important in this moment, because SolidWorks is a very much kind of industrial application tool, and we'll be creating machine designs and drawing. So more we talk about the technical stuff, like how we can create drawings, how we can add some certain technical information onto our design or drawing. So those things are more important, right? And after that, the next option is this. You can see the small view settings that you can see over here. So right now we are in shadow in shaded mode. So if you go on to the ambient inclusion, you can change that, or into perspective you can change those things as well. You can see it's a little bit like a cartoonish kind of view. So those things we can control, but by default we used to go with the first option selected only, and here you can see the shadow with shaded mode is selected, and that is the option we used to work as a default setting. So these were the things that were mostly about the user interface of SolidWorks. And then onto the right side of your screen, onto the top, you can see this area over here from where you can close your SolidWorks, you can minimize it, or you can minimize it, right? You can have multiple tabs as well. And if you click on this help icon, you will be able to see all the help supports over here. For example, if you want to go on to learn about SolidWorks, so if you click on it, you will get a complete SolidWorks version details, like what work. You can see right now my SolidWorks is a maker's license, and that is 2024. So SP1, this kind of license. So those information, if you want to check, you can click on this icon over here, and you will be able to see all these options. For example, if you want to get some support from SolidWorks team, SolidWorks community, SolidWorks technical team, you can click on this get supports, and a new window will pop up where you can connect with the SolidWorks team. And after that, since I told you it's the license that I'm using right now is a cloud license, that's why I'm getting this option. And you can see I'm logged in using my email account that is associated with my email. Using a 3D experience account, I had activated this license. That's why you can see this option. So whenever you are on a standalone license, I mean the offline license of SolidWorks, then definitely you're not going to see this option, right? And after that, there is a very important option that says if you click on this, by using this option you can search the commands. For example, if you're not seeing any command onto this area over here, and if you want to search it, let's say I want to search for the combine tool. Here you can see, so I can search that tool, and if it's already over there, I will not be getting that option. But if it is not there, we can get the option. For example, if you go into the features tab, and if you click on it, and let's say I will search a tool called combine, right, or knit surface, you can see the knit surface is not available over here. So I can simply drag it and keep it onto my command toolbar. Here you can see, so I can add any certain tools on a certain category, right? If you want to, like for example, under the surfaces, you can see there is a tool called extrude surface, right? And I want this extrude surface also onto the feature toolbar. So what I will do, I will go to the command bar, I will write extrude surface. Can see extrude surface. I can drag it and keep it over here, because most of the times I will be working under the feature tab only. So I want this tool because this is the tool that is being frequently used. So I can add this tool onto this toolbar, and I can keep it for as a frequent used tool. Also, all the time if you want to remove it, you can also do that. Like you can just remove it, right? If you can make a right click and you want to customize, and then window will pop up. From there you can just remove certain tools or delete certain tools. So those are the things that you can do. But at this moment, just think about the default toolbar settings and options available, because if you are just a new user, you are just getting started into the tool, the most important thing is getting started into the tool, right? So these were all about SolidWorks user interface, and as I had already told you, that will be also be talking about the sketching fundamentals. But before moving to sketching fundamentals, let's talk a little bit about the mouse, like how you can use your mouse to navigate across your 3D model. So guys, there are 3 keys inside a mouse, right, and a scroll wheel. The first key is the left key, right, inside your mouse, and the second is the right key, and then the middle mouse button key, right, the scroll wheel. You can also use it as a click tool, right, as a click tool, I will say click button, and it can also be used as a scroll option. So if you scroll your wheel, you can see whenever, this is my cursor, right, if I put this cursor onto the area over here, and if you scroll it, it will, if I will scroll up, you can see I'm zooming out, right? If I will scroll back, I will zooming in. So if you want to zoom in and zoom out, just move your cursor onto your object and zoom in and zoom out. And let's say by accident, if you had zoomed in and zoom out of your screen, simply click on this zoom to fit, and it will come back onto the fit of your screen. So don't worry that if you did something wrong, just click on this zoom to fit, and everything will just come back. And again, I am repeating, if you're watching this live stream, like this live stream, because it's really very important that at least you will get any one of your likes, it will encourage me to keep doing these live streams, right? Then after this, the next button is this right click button. If you click on the right click button of your mouse, you will be able to see a new panel will pop up into your SolidWorks, like we used to see under the Windows also. If we make a right click, we'll get a fresh window, right? In a similar manner inside SolidWorks, if we make a right click, so if you make a right click on the empty space, we'll get options like this. If you right click onto the object, we'll get a different options. So you have to be very careful. If you right click onto the command manager tab area over here, you can see I'm getting different option. If I'm clicking on the menu option or into the design, let's say we are into the design tree, and if you click on this area, you will get different option. So it's really very important whenever you are making a right click, make sure that in which area your cursor is. If you're above your object, just make a right click, you will see all the different options. So right click, if you want to see some more options, you can just move your cursor onto the area where you want to keep, and accordingly then make a right click, and you will get all those options. After that, there is the left click inside SolidWorks. So the left click is to select objects. For example, if I want to select this face of this body, so I will make a single left click. Here you can see, and it got selected, it got highlighted into blue. Right now I can move my cursor, and still it is selected until unless I will press escape onto my keyboard. So if you press escape onto your keyboard, it will get unselected. There you can see it got selected, and even if you want to deselect it, just click anywhere outside of your object and it will get deselected. Select, click outside, and it will be deselected. So this way you can navigate from your mouse as well. And if you click on the middle mouse button, you can see I am ready to. Okay, so if I am making a single left click, you can see it's getting highlighted into blue, right? And if I will make a middle mouse button click, it is getting highlighted into pink. So there is a difference for both of them. So when the face is selected as a pink, and the moment you will keep dragging your mouse, you can rotate your objects, right? You can orbit across your object. So that is all about orbit tool. So if you keep clicking your middle mouse button, so right now you can see I had clicked my middle mouse button and it is still clicked, and the moment I had not left that click. So you can see if I am moving my mouse, it's orbiting across my 3D model. So if you want to see your 3D model from different directions, what you can do, just keep clicking your middle mouse button and drag like this, and you will be able to navigate across your 3D model, orbit across your 3D model, right? And if you want to zoom in and zoom out, simply scroll your wheel, right? You don't need to click to scroll, just simply scroll it without clicking, and you will be able to zoom in and zoom out. If you want to orbit it, just keep clicking your middle mouse button and you can drag your mouse to see your object from different directions. So these things in the beginning, when you are just getting started, could be little bit tough for you, but once you will start spending some time onto this tool, you will get very habitual, because it's all about like spending how much time you are spending onto this tool. In the beginning, if you are spending at least 4 to 5 hours in a week, at least 4 to 5 hours in a week, that's really much enough to get started into this tool. In the coming 2 or 3 months, you will have a very good command over SolidWorks. So at least take a step, start spending some time onto this tool, and start learning with it. And again, if I'm repeating, if you have any question at any moment of time, you can just comment into the chat box. I will try to answer you. I will try to help you. So now next, let's move on to the sketching fundamentals. And I don't think the sketching fundamentals is going to work today, because we had already taken so much of time. We had already spent 50 minutes of live stream, and so maybe we'll be discussing the fundamentals, the sketching fundamentals of the SolidWorks into the next live stream. So this live stream was mostly about the introduction to user interface. So if you had learned this, if you had learned anything from this live stream, like if you feel that I had added some value to your journey of learning SolidWorks, then just comment into the chat box, or like this video, subscribe my channel. Otherwise, if you have some other interest, like if you want to learn Fusion 360, 3D printing, or some other technology or things, mechanical things, just also let me know, because whatever things I am skilled in, I try to teach all of you. So guys, I think that was all about the today's live stream, and Again, I'm repeating, any question, just let me know. And the last request, give at least 10 likes to me. So that will motivate me and will keep doing this kind of live stream. So thank you so much everyone. Thank you so much for coming and learning with me. We'll see you in the next live stream. Bye bye.